going live. I need to finish some changes on the pattern, and I would like you guys to see how it works. So I'm gonna flip the camera around. All right, so I'm gonna fix the camera down here. Okay, great. All right, so what we're doing today is that I'm working on this vest. Not sure if anybody's has logged in. So basically, what I'm going to do right now is that I was explaining to you guys in the previous live I had, but I didn't know that it timed out, so it was gone. So basically, I have the pattern um, for the two backs. Actually, one back, but I split it in two because when it comes down to leather, some animals are not this wide and this long, so it's better if you have it split in half, and it's okay too. So what I did, because I was short on material, I also added a piece on the bottom, slightly darker, purposely, and also with the pocket, the welt pocket as well. So it looks great, and I want to duplicate. I want to uh, uh, produce this in a mass production. So my embroidery machine is not working right now because I need to do this, and I also want to increase the size of the eagle. Maybe another eagle. I have another eagle. Um, and then but my pattern, it's made to be one piece, like right here, right? So it's one piece. What I did, I just folded it like that, but I want to fix it right. I want to do it right because it's good to kind of tweak it a bit and then you're done. But a lot of times what happens is that um, you may not remember what you did, and then that's where mistakes happen, and mistakes are costly. I mean, they are not cheap, so it's better to fix it in once and for all. So basically what I'm going to do right now, sometimes I take advantage of these lines that are already on the board, and I just have to trace a line without measuring and trying to see if it's done right, because I already have the lines on this mat. So now I'm gonna give half an inch seam allowance, right? And then from here I'm going to place the back pattern, and then I'm done. But there's another thing I did on this one, on this vest. I added half an inch more because I'm using a thick so I had to add half an inch more on the back. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to trace here on the back. And the reason why I'm doing this is because it's better that I have my pattern done right. I don't want to rely on memory and forget that I actually did this. And if I produce it, the person who's going to do the marker is going to ask me if I made changes. The marker exists already, but it's without this piece that I did on the bottom. So that's why I'm doing it. I'm not adding more seam allowance to it because the only thing I had to add was the seam allowance here at the at the top. So now I'm done. So you could also do this with your patterns. If you have an existing pattern, it's always good to just make some changes on it. Another change I want to make, it's also it's the pocket type. I'm going to show you guys that right now. The pocket types on the previous jacket, I had it's a patch pocket, but I personally like the the welt pockets. It looks amazing. So I had cut the best. This is lamb. This is nice, very nice. If you see it, but it also varies from one skin to another. You could also find spots on the skin where you can cut kind of the same thing. But in this case, I focus on saving um the leather because it's expensive, and also I mean, you have to save anyway. So what happened is that I added a piece of material that was a lot thicker and stronger than this, had more structure than this. And this specific side, I cut it on an area kind of like on the side of on the skin. So it's a little bit more lousy than this side. So I had to take it off. And but now I'm done with the pattern because at the beginning I didn't have the pattern. Let me just cut the pattern right now. Um, Normally I use my weight, so the pattern, the paper won't move when I'm cutting. Um, let's do this. Amazing. Love it. And I'm going to cut straight line across here too. These scissors are great. If you are in LA, a friend of mine sells them. She does sell them online. The name is KI 7250. They're amazing. I haven't sharpened this one since I got them. Probably have them for, I don't know, 5 years, I think, maybe more. Um, I normally don't sharpen them because when you sharpen them and you give it to somebody, you lose like an eighth of an inch every single time. That's why your scissors don't last because you give it to somebody who doesn't really um it's not like if they don't care, it's because they just do their job and that's it. But in my case, if I have lost like a 32 of an inch, it's a lot because normally I don't really sharpen them. There's a trick how to kind of go very on this side and then on the flat side of the blade too, and it works as long as it cuts and then you don't really kind of waste your scissors in a way. So now I cut it. There's another thing because I had glued this down, so I lost half an inch on it. So I want to have to add half an inch more on the piece. But this will be oh, you know what? I forgot something. This will be the final final size for my back panel uh bottom piece. So we're gonna call this one back uh bottom piece. This is very important. You need to name your patterns whenever you uh, create them or adjust them. Today's date, not sure what today's date is. It's 18. Okay, so it's 10, 18, 25. And the style number, I'm going to call this one KB. Okay, so we're going to call it KB. Actually, I'm gonna change the name since it's a different style. Let's do, uh, okay, let's do B07. Yeah, best 07, okay? Actually, LD. So I'm gonna call it leather vest, all right? And what else do we need to cut? Cut one. I forgot that. Cut one. What else? Self. Yeah, we could call it self. Actually, no. I'm gonna call it contrast because I love the way how it came out here. This effect. I ran out of the same material and I did this effect. So a lot of people who saw my vest, they loved it. So I'm just gonna continue with the idea. So now that I'm done, I have this piece of leather. It's brownish black, and I'm gonna cut it from this side. Let's see. Um, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna do it on an open kind of thing. So I'm gonna leave half an inch. Remember, we said I'm gonna add half an inch more because um because I lost half an inch when I didn't remove the I wasn't able to remove it, and actually I could have tried doing it, but the leather takes glue, so when there is glue on it, you don't want to mess with that. So let's see, I'm gonna cut it right now. As I explained to you guys last time, Normally people cut it with a knife. I have a knife, but I'm not really good at cutting it with knife, so I cut it with Caesar. There's another thing I want to make and a change I want to make on this pattern, and that is I want to do some sort of facing, leather facing, and leave the lining um kind of apart um um from the bottom. I'll tell you why, because I made some of these one time um for a customer, and what happened is that because the lining, if you have to leave more lining than the self, because a lot of times if it's not enough, or when they wash it, if it shrinks, then the bottom is going to look like that. It doesn't look straight down. So what I want to do, this is good already. I'm just gonna indicate the center. Okay, and that's it. And I might do the same thing on this side. A lot of people, what they do when they notch the center on leather, they do like a B cut, like this. It's okay to, um, it's more noticeable. So I'm just gonna do a B cut right here because I did this just a straight cut through, but then um, it's not noticeable because it's a leather. Um, so it's gonna look like this. Ooh, I kind of like contrast, really contrasted color, but this is for somebody I know and I respect a lot. So I think I'm gonna go with this. What do you guys think? It's not noticeable too much because it's kind of brown, spotted brown. Do you guys see it? Um, what do you think? Should I? Yeah, I think it's better because it's somebody who I respect a lot and he's very serious. So, not sure if I'm gonna be able to. Uh, I don't think it's good if I put it on the reverse side. So I'm just gonna use that color. This is amazing. I have information on this leather and I kept it. This is from Dansfield. This is a company that existed in City of Industry on Washington and Lotila, I think. I have their number. This guy, the owner, he offered me to operate his mill because he had a mill, tannery basically. And it was during the time that I was more focused on something else instead of um doing my own thing. So I didn't even think about it, but I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me go back here. I don't know if you see the information. It's Dansfield, and he's an older guy. He retired, I guess. But his daughter is running the business, so I'm actually going to reach out to her soon because I want to get some more um leather. I want to do some leather skirts as well and some woman fitted leather jackets. So I want to kind of match it with some nice skirt. And for men, I have this vest, and I might do some. I'm gonna do the best for sure. Uh, but guess what? I'm gonna show you something. What I want to do on this one, I want to add. Let me see, where is it? I was working on it. I want to show you something I had. I was thinking to do on this one. Okay, I'll show you this. See this fabric? This is what I'm going to use for lining. The leather is already hot as is, right? But imagine with this one as the lining. I finished it already. It's already done. I did um a pocket from the inside. You see, this can't be washed though. It has to be dry clean. So this is beautiful. And I did the fronts already. Look how good it is. I don't know if you guys see it. Love the way how it came out. And that's one of the fronts. And then I did the embroidery on this. I'm gonna add it. Um, I'm gonna add it here or maybe on the other side. And I have my label as well, but I don't know if you guys want to see it. Let me show you. So that's a patch I did with my embroidery machine, but then suddenly it broke. And this is my label. This is a work in progress label. So basically, I want to put it on the inside of the vest. So I have everything figured out. But for the collar, I want to use this one. Okay, so I was originally going to use this rib, right? But I couldn't find it. Um, and then I was like, um I was kind of like hesitating, what should I use? And then suddenly I came across this sample piece, but I came across this one. What do you guys think? This material or rib? I think rib is more common. Um, but maybe if I use this one, it's gonna be kind of outstanding. What do you guys? I was thinking about using snaps on one side because I went to this place where I get the zippers from. It's called S&J. I think trim. Oh, actually, S&J Ink. The zippers are taking like 8 weeks, so that's 2 months from now. I'm not gonna be able to sell them online if I wait 8 weeks. I should have done it in July and have the zippers right now. But guess what? I just thought about I'm making the vest reversible because it makes sense that this is a beautiful fabric. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate your help. I'm going to try to do this lives weekly, so or anytime I have some time because a lot of times when I get into what I'm doing, I have to finish them and have deadlines, and so I have to kind of continue. But eventually, hopefully, I can have more time to spend with you guys. I have two plans for the channel. One, I want to have um, more high deep kind of classes on how to sew and stuff like that. I will have more details. With the videos, I only have 10 minutes. And with the live, I think I only have 1 hour. It kicked me out earlier today because I was still talking and going, but I didn't even realize that I was out. The live was had ended. That is because I can't mirror um, it's happening on this camera to my iPad. Anyway, so um, that is one, and then eventually I'm gonna add some sort of. I'm working on my store as well, and online classes as well. So before I end the live, I also want to mention that I have students that come here and I teach them how to sew, beginners or advanced, and I've been in the industry. I've held almost every single position from production sewer, duplicate sewer, sample sewer, um, uh, pattern maker manager, pattern department manager. I've been QC, I've been shipping department, customer service, some accounting a little bit, um, HR, also operations, and uh, all the positions in almost every single thing. So I have some experience to teach people. So it's not only sewing I do. A lot of times when you hear me talk, I think I cover more than just sewing, because eventually if you're starting your brand or your line, you're gonna have to face that, so you're gonna have to go through that. So I try to do that a little bit more. Sometimes it could be good, maybe it's too much information for beginners, but I kind of see it this way: if you hear something and then later on you need it, sometimes it kind of clicks, comes back to your memory, because I don't know, the information, some of the information we keep, some just kind of stays somewhere else in our subconscious, I think, and then suddenly when you need it, it comes back. um so that's the plan for the channel. Thanks a lot, guys. Hope to see you next time. And again, any question you have, just send them my way. I'll try to answer as soon as I can. Thanks a lot, guys.